me out. And she's a wonderful lady. She said, she's like, I don't care what religion you are. She said, she's like, how could a mother do that to her kid? How could a mother do that to her child? You know, she's like, as a Christian woman, you don't do that to your kid. She's right. Like, and my mom's like, I still love you. I just wish that you were this way. How? And my mom said, sorry, I'm going to try to end it. But, she said, she's like, I just feel like you chose your father, someone that like ruined my life, ruined you and your brother's life because he's such a mean person. You're choosing a mean person as your role model. So what I'd explain to my mom is it's not my dad. I'm not doing this religion, I'm not being Muslim to follow footsteps of an a-hole. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like him. And for my mom, she really, Islam isn't abuse. Islam isn't the man being this unbelievable dominant thing. A woman, like my mom just saw how my dad was and put it and stigmatized it to the rest of Islam. So here's my job, now that I've taken it upon myself, is to show my mom, now that she knows I'm Muslim, now she buys me haram meat. What a beautiful lady. She now buys me haram meat, and my job is to show her the real way of being Muslim. And it's just respect. It's respect. I don't care what religion you are, I'm going to treat you with respect. And especially a woman that's been through so much, she deserves respect. So, that's it.
Hi again. I was a guard in Guantanamo in the military. I've conducted a couple hundred interviews about why I embraced Islam. You can Google that.
Okay, I just want to encourage this to be, that was really good, but not really, but just, I want to encourage you guys to make it a conversation too. Like, don't think that it has to be like, you know, you guys have to answer in line or something. Like, make it a conversation if you guys want. And if we can, we were supposed to be done by this question by 7:45. So, we'll just give it like a couple more minutes and then we'll have to move on to the next. We have a few more questions.
Well, let me talk a little bit about what spurred my interest. But I can comfortably say that you guys are probably thinking the only bad direction I took was probably went to the school other side of the town or something. Was not a good joke, I guess.
I like it.
So, okay, I'm gonna stand up a little bit. Sorry. Okay, so it wasn't. So I was born Catholic, and I was raised as a Catholic too. And I've been in the United States for, this is my 10th year in the country. I came here when I started my undergraduate, so you do the math for my age and those kind of things. But it wasn't really about, I guess, one aspect of the kind of religious part of it, but it was really, people. So I didn't really think about it until I talked to somebody about what I'm going to, talk and discuss today. Then I realized that the conversion process was rather lengthy. My first encounter with a Muslim person was probably 3 years before I actually took Shahada. So, there's somewhat of seeing what Muslim people do. I mean, it catch your eyes, right? They pray 5 times a day, and they make this weird yell or call to prayer outside of the cross-cultural hall. It's really hard to miss if you're walking around this campus. And 2, they fast. And back in probably 6-7 years ago, Ramadan was right during the fall quarter or fall semester. So you notice that 1 or 2 of your friends stop eating or stop drinking water during the daytime, but they gather in the quad and start eating pretty good food in the evening. So you start wondering about it. And also, not to mention those funny hats, long beard, head face, and the skirt. I mean, all those kind of things really intrigue the interest. Then you start paying attention, like what are those people doing? And why they're doing it, start asking those questions about it. And other random questions too. Oh, so you guys are allowed to drink coffee, or happen to have a lot of Muslim female friends around me, so I was like, oh, you guys are allowed to put makeup too? All those kind of random questions. And it really got to me, those people who I got to know happened to become pretty good friends. And my good friends at the college happen to be Muslims. And just looking at what they do and what they want to make out of their life, and the kind of works that they're really dedicated. A couple of my friends that could do a lot of civil rights work, nonprofit work, really that shows person's value, that commitment to the community, and doing good for other people. And they're just really well-mannered, good people, except that one quality I just can't really get it is they never, ever, ever be on time. And if you ever get invited to Muslim weddings, if it says 7, don't go until 9. Definitely don't try to be before whatever the stated time. But other fascinating part definitely drew me in and make me think about what this religion is about is, even though hardly ever my Muslim friends come anything on time, but they pray on time. They are quite disorganized in my view, but and I guess now I'm one of them and try to make them a little bit more organized, and it's clearly not working. When that call for prayer comes, they drop whatever thing they're doing and they line up to the same direction, no matter where you are. And even if you're traveling for some other conference, that still happens too. And those kind of things makes me wonder about it. Wonder about what this religion is teaching. And whatever that is, they must be teaching something right to make all those people committed to their religion and act based on their faith and value. So I would say that that was where my interest sparked. So it was really like a long-term conversation, friendship, random coffee that I had with good friends who happen to be Muslims, and that's really all it takes, I think. One Muslim person changed the perspective to whole Muslim community. So it's really important, and I guess this is like a more the message toward the Muslim crowd and the guests here. But so that's kind of it.
Actually follow showing up 3 hours late to the event. That's called Arab Standard Time, AST. But we can't follow that when it comes to prayer, right?
Alright, I guess it's my turn again. I kind of went over this already with you guys a little bit, but to be more specific, what sparked my interest to Islam is my dad, as you all know, is a Christian pastor. He's also a biker. He rides in a Christian bike gang. I know, kind of strange, right? But they do like rallies against Muslims, like the Yorba Linda thing. My dad was there. And his hatred towards Islam is really what sparked my interest. I wanted to know, why does my dad hate these Muslims so much that he's willing to take his entire Saturday, drive all the way out to Yorba Linda, and stand there with a sign and shout at these people when they're doing a fundraiser. Like, it's not like they're trying to blow somebody up. They're trying to raise money to help the homeless and to help beaten, oppressed women. So I researched it, and I found a website called whyislam.org, and that's where I really found the answers for the questions that I had. They were very specific answers. They were very concrete. They showed me the thing about Islam where it's a perfect combination of scientific facts and spirituality. And when I saw that, I was hooked. It made complete sense. It's amazing. So thank you to my dad for hating Muslims, because if it weren't for him and everyone else who hates us, then I probably wouldn't have started looking into it. So yeah, all right.
Okay, I'm answering. What sparked my interest in Islam? It's a long story, but I guess I would say it was mainly just my upbringing in Christianity that just kind of had me asking questions. Like I said, I got in a lot of trouble in Saturday school for asking just questions. I remember asking my mother, and she bought me a lot of biblical books with pictures, and I remember I was looking at a depiction of Noah's Ark with all the animals, and they were all in their pairs. And, it's kind of a funny story, but I was maybe about, 6, 7, and I remember asking my mom, don't laugh at me, I thought unicorns were real. And I was asking my mom why there wasn't unicorns on Noah's Ark, and I was a little bit upset about that. So she broke it to me and told me that they weren't real. And it's hard. It was hard. So anyways, they weren't real, and she basically told me that, if you're a good girl and you go to heaven, then, who knows, maybe you can ask God for one. And I was like, yeah, that's great. So I kind of got to thinking, why aren't we asking Jesus for the unicorn? Like, we talk about him all the time at church. How come I don't ask Jesus for a unicorn? Why are we asking God? Because they're two separate people, and there's a Father, there's a Son, there's a Holy Spirit. So why aren't I asking Jesus? So, just growing up, those just things like that just stuck in my head. It just, Jamila was saying, the Trinity just kind of never really made sense to me. They have the theory of an egg and the yolk and the white and the apple and the seed, but what if there's multiple seeds? What if there's 2 yolks? I wasn't having it. So as I got a little bit older, more specifically when it came to Barack Obama's presidential, when he was running for president, just hearing all this stuff just being spewed in the media about, Muslims and Barack Hussein Obama, he's a Muslim, and I was just like, what's the big deal? What is a Muslim? And I had Muslim friends, but I didn't even know you guys were Muslim, and they weren't practicing, they weren't practicing at all. And then Ramadan was coming up, so, they were starting to shape up, and, they couldn't go out as much, and they couldn't go to the hookah bar anymore, and, it was Ramadan. So I was just like, what is that? What is Ramadan? They're like, oh, and I had Christian Muslim friends, Arab Christian friends, and Arab Muslim friends. So the Muslims were, just talking about, how they have to fast and how they don't eat from sunrise till sunset, and I just thought it was pretty interesting. And I was like, oh, you guys fast too? Yeah, Christians, we fast too. And so we would just get into conversations about it. And I remember one time I was having a discussion with my friend about just religion and faith and God and Jesus. And, I remember she was asking me, oh, when you pray, who do you pray to? And I said, oh, I pray to Jesus. And she was like, well, why? She wasn't trying to badger me or anything. She was just curious, what's your, reason behind that? And I didn't really know how to respond. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Whenever I pray, I ask Jesus to, help me with this or whatever issue I'm having. And she was like, well, why don't you just ask God? And when she said that, I remembered my childhood, and I remembered how, even as a child, I asked myself that question, why don't we ask God? Why are we asking Jesus? And it was then that, with everything going on in the media, and it was just curiosity, really. And long story short, I got a copy of the Quran, an English translation of it, and I started reading. And I started reading, and I kept reading and reading. I could not stop reading. It was amazing.